Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Let's get started. And our first one comes from Kim's sister, Gold Digger. Am I the beehole for yelling at my sister after she called my partner a gold digger? So I, a 30-year-old male, come from a well-off family. But my dad always taught me to work hard and have class. When I was 14, I started working at my dad's company part-time to earn my allowance. And when I turned 16, I became a real part-time employee. My dad decided to retire when I was 29 and handed the business to me. Back in my second year of uni, I met Kim, a 20-year-old male at the time, 29-year-old male now. We are in the same course and ended up in the same group for a group project near the beginning of the year. We had a similar sense of humor and clicked as friends quickly. One day, he mentioned he loves to cook, and I told him we should cook together, because I love to cook too. And that weekend, we went to his place, brought some ingredients, and cooked together. Then, this became us going group shopping for ingredients after class on Friday. I'd stay at his place the night, and we'd cook on the weekend, and this became our weekly routine. Back then, I just told others that we were just friends. But with hindsight, this is definitely when I started to fall for him. I finally asked him out a few months later, and he said yes. We lived in the same house with two other friends in our third year. I asked him to move in with me after we graduated. From the beginning, I told Kim that I would not care if he didn't work, but he insisted he wanted to contribute financially. But after a year, I made him stop. Due to the differences in our incomes, he was working himself half to death and was getting ill trying to contribute enough. I sat him down and told him that whatever money he made didn't matter. That if he wanted to work, I wanted him to be happy. He cut back on his hours, then moved to part-time, then decided to quit work and work on his own projects. But he insisted that I let him take some of the housework. Now on to the issue. My sister, a 32-year-old female, she and her partner, a 31-year-old male, both work, and he also makes significantly less than her. And in private to me, she's made it known that she resents being the breadwinner. She sees all her male colleagues spoil and treat their wives, and wishes her partner would do the same. He does, but just not to the same level, due to the fact that he basically makes half as much as they do. Recently, I was talking to her about what I was going to get Kim for his birthday next month. She kept telling me my ideas were too much and that I should get something cheaper, since he doesn't contribute. I got a bit annoyed, because I've told her about Kim's insecurities of not making or being enough. I told her that he contributes more than enough. She called him a glorified gold digger, and I yelled at her, telling her to shut up and do not talk about Kim that way. After calming down, I do feel bad. I know how she feels about her own financial position, but I don't think it's fair she gets to take it out on me or Kim, even if Kim wasn't physically there. So, am I the beehole? Hi, OP. You are not the beehole. You are doing what you're supposed to do when someone insults your spouse. You stick up for them and you have their back. So in that case, no, you're not the beehole. This is her problem, and like you said, she's trying to take it out on you and Kim. You give Kim the okay to stop working or to work less, and you'd be okay because, you own your own business. I feel bad for her husband. That poor dude's probably working himself to the bone, and it's still not enough for her. She's probably gonna, if she's given the opportunity from a richer person, she's probably gonna go to that person. I'm just saying. I feel really bad for the guy. I don't know if it's the right thing to do, but maybe tell him. Maybe not. I don't know. That's a really sticky situation to talk about on that one. And it sucks that people do that. Kim's a very lucky person that he's with someone who doesn't throw money back in his face like that, because everyone's insecure about that stuff. I am too. I wake up in the dead of night worrying about covering bills and all that. It's everyone's weakness, unless you're filthy stinking rich. And that's not right, what she's doing, comparing her husband to the other men in the office. He's trying. He sounds like he's a good dude over there getting her presents, trying to treat her right, and it's still not enough. She sounds like a really horrible person, OP. Well, not, yeah, horrible person, because she's making it about money instead of being with the person she wants to be with. It sounds like you're doing it right, OP. You found someone you love, you can care for them, and yeah, if I was in your shoes, OP, and the person I'm with is working themselves to the bone and running ragged and not being happy, I'd tell them to quit too, especially if I could, afford it. I'd want the person I love to be happy. Isn't that just normal? Isn't that a normal human being thing? Or, your family, you don't want to see your family in pain or hurting or anything like that, or the person you love. So no, OP, you were not the beehole. You did the right thing for sticking up for for the person you're with. And our next one comes from Sadhole7252. Am I the beehole for canceling our apartment signing after I found out that my boyfriend bought an expensive car? My boyfriend, a 31-year-old male, and I, a 28-year-old female, have been together for just over 2 years. We've been living with roommates and have been looking to move in for a while. It's expensive, and I have a dog, so it's been difficult finding a landlord that would be okay with a dog. My friend has been moving out, and she has a dog and is willing to sublet for us. The landlord said they're okay with signing us if we want to stay after the 8-month sublet. It's a fairly good price near work, so I'm happy with it. We went through with the credit check and we're about to sign it, but recently I discovered that my boyfriend bought another car. He already has his daily driver, but wants a weekend car. That is so weird to me, especially as someone who doesn't care about cars in that way, which I personally find ridiculous. Why anyone needs two cars? Well, okay, I'll give him this. If you have your car and then you get a truck because you need to move things around, you buy a fridge, you want to move it yourself, stuff like that. I kind of get that, but back to the story. He has a Honda Accord, that is fine, and he has never complained about problems with it, but he recently said he bought another car. He isn't the best with money. He really likes to spend till the last dollar and doesn't have any savings. I've had to bail him out twice on rent. We both pay around 1,100 plus utilities, and he makes around 70K a year. So he should have savings, but he doesn't. He did pay me back, but it was months later than we agreed upon. So I wasn't really happy that he did that. But I didn't realize he bought such an expensive car. He didn't show it to me until Saturday when he picked me up in a Corvette. I don't know what model it was, but I asked him how much it was, and he said it wasn't my business. And I was pissed off. He bought a clearly expensive car. He admitted later, because I refused to let it go, it was $42,000, and he had traded in the Honda. Even then, his payments are around $800 a month. I was so mad that he did that, especially because he asked me to cover part of his share of the apartment security deposit a week before he bought the car. I called my friend and apologized and told her I can't sign the lease, and she said she was okay with it. I hadn't paid the deposit yet, thankfully, and my roommate is okay with me staying, so I'm good. But my boyfriend's lease is ending and the landlord wants him out, so he's mad at me canceling us moving in together, because now he still needs to move and will probably be paying more than if we moved in together. He yelled at me for butting in on his business, saying that it's not my business what he buys. Yeah, and it's not his business for you to, live in the same house with him because he's over here wasting money. Sorry, back to the story. I think that's fair, but he also doesn't have any money and bought an expensive car. So if anything goes wrong, I have to pay his share of the rent. Okay, OP, you are definitely not the beehole in this situation. Your boyfriend is the beehole, and I would look into making him your ex-boyfriend, because I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want someone around me who's not good with money. I'm not the best with money, but I love to save money, and I want someone who's the same way. He's demonstrated that he's prone to making stupid and reckless decisions. You guys are moving into a new place, and that's not cheap. You're probably going to need to fix things, change things around, buy furniture, I don't know. Sorry if you hear that phone. But now is not the time to be buying a vehicle, an expensive vehicle. And he traded in his good workhorse for that expensive toy. Hondas are good cars. I don't know what year it is. I think the newer ones are more prone to transmission problems, but that's why I want a Toyota. But Hondas are usually pretty good workhorses, and they're, the best thing about them is that they're easy to fix. You can get third-party parts and save money that way. Pretty sure Corvette ain't that easy to fix. I don't know if Corvettes are one of those cars where you have to go to the dealership and get fleeced by the dealers buying first-party Corvette parts or whatever. But if I were you, OP, I would look into making that your ex-boyfriend, because He's shown you that he's willing to make really stupid decisions that put you in a bad spot too. Like I said before, sure, it's none of your business how he spends his money on his car, but it is your business when his stupid decisions can affect you negatively. Because like you said at the end of the story, if he does something stupid like that, or if he loses his job or something like that, or does anything stupid, which he's prone to do, it's going to fall on you to cover the rent and the bills, probably all the utilities and all that. So OP, you are not the beehole. I would seriously considering making him your ex-boyfriend. And our final one comes from local page 1506, Am I the Beehole? Am I the beehole for not caring about my parents wanting to get or getting to know them? Super long story short, I, a 25-year-old female, was the glass child in my family, youngest of 5. I'm the only one without severe health or mental issues, so I fell through the cracks. I spent almost all my time alone in my room reading or playing video games. I generally didn't mind this much. I wanted to make it clear I don't resent my parents or siblings. They did not parentify me or make me my siblings' caretaker. My things were never taken for the siblings' benefit. I was just invisible because I didn't need them the way the other 4 did. When I was 9 or 10, I made friends with 2 girls who were also in similar situations as mine, and we were, and still are, our own little family. I went to college with just those 2. I graduated with just those 2. I moved to my new state with just those 2. My family were busy, and that was fine. I didn't mind, because it's just how life is when you have 4 sick siblings. Fast forward to November 2023. Mom calls me 3 days before Thanksgiving, which is super unusual because we don't talk. The last time we spoke on the phone was when she was telling me time and place of a sister's funeral. We text small talk occasionally. Our relationship is incredibly surface level, and honestly, that's an improvement from my high school years when we had no relationship. Mom asked what time to expect me for Thanksgiving. I had no idea they were planning for Thanksgiving this year. She never mentioned it before. I already had plans. Also, if she wanted me to come for Thanksgiving, I would have needed to book a plane ticket months ago. Giving me 3 days notice is not okay by me. She didn't remember that I live 2 states away now, but was upset that I would leave her alone on Thanksgiving, which felt very guilt-trippy to me because she has dad. When I refused to come a couple times, she hung up on me. After about 30 minutes of scrolling back to check our messages and making sure I hadn't missed something, I hadn't. I sent her a text letting her know that I had a skiing trip booked for Xmas this year, but I'd love to catch up with her and Dad after the new year. Shortly after, I received a text message from Dad telling me that if I don't come home for Xmas, he would stop paying for my college. Wow, what a prick. Okay, back to the story. I reminded him I graduated 3 years ago, and that if he was paying for someone's school, he should look into that because he's been scammed. To be honest, I was pretty pissed at this point about the guilt trip and the threats, so I just put my phone on mute and ignored it. Mom called a couple more times, but stopped. She didn't text me on Thanksgiving or Xmas, and did not respond to me texting her. Now it's February. I haven't spoken to my parents since, and my 2 besties are telling me I'm kind of being a jerk, that they would both be super happy if their parents tried to reach out to them. They don't know your business. They don't, sorry, let me finish this. Am I the beehole because I just don't care that they tried to reach out? No, OP, you are not the beehole, and your friends are, I'm not going to insult your friends because you really seem to like them, but they're not wrong, they're not right in this situation. OP, your parents forgot about you and neglected you. Yeah, I get it, kids are sick, but you gotta still make time for your other children. You can't just forget the other one exists, and you're doing fine on your own. And like you said, your mom's over here dropping this on you 3 days before, and you're 2 states away. I'm pretty sure the plane ticket will not be cheap. They expect you to come out of pocket and waste your time flying over there. Just for what? Judging from the way they handled this conversation, they're probably gonna try to guilt trip you and make you feel like crap. I don't know if you're telling your friends the whole story, but it got under my skin when your dad calls you and threatens you to say, "Oh, I won't pay for your college." And that's already pretty terrible, denying your child an education that you're paying, well, supposedly paying for. But then on top of it, these people have forgotten about you so much, OP. They didn't realize that you graduated 3 years ago. OP, that tells me everything. Personally, I don't think you should have called or texted them at all. They don't deserve that. They don't deserve that from you. They don't deserve anything from you. OP, just be done with it. They obviously don't want you, and you don't want to deal with them. You're doing a dance where you do this, oh, we're pretending to be okay with each other, and that's gotta be annoying. I would just go no contact with them. They seem like really stupid people. Again, OP, not the beehole. Thank you so much for staying with me to the end of this video. Can you please do what I said in the beginning and like, comment, and subscribe? It will really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Velvet out.